There are three kinds of Rocket League players. First, we have the casual player, who plays the special modes, maybe plays against bots, and doesn't really ever train on free play or take competitive seriously. Second, we have the tryhard, competitive player, who grinds their hours in ranked and free play and is always doing their best to improve their game. Finally, there's the minority of the Rocket League community, and maybe the most fun people to watch, the freestylers. You don't have to be completely invested in Rocket League to have seen and been amazed at what these players can do. People like Jazer and Pulsefire have built their YouTube channels entirely off of their freestyling exploits, but they also have thousands of hours in the game. Freestyling is something that many people, myself included, would love to be able to pull off, but it takes some serious effort and determination to get good enough to freestyle on your own. So I didn't. I learned how to freestyle with an expert. Can a platinum player really learn how to freestyle in just a couple days? Let's start with the beginning of this journey. There are a few things that you need to understand about freestyling before we begin this journey. First, going for a fancy goal on your own is drastically different than going for a team play. I'm not going to be learning how to air dribble and flip reset. I'm going to be learning how to cooperate with a teammate, getting pinch goals and scoring backboard reads. My teammate in question was White Blocko, an underrated freestyler and the person who made this video happen, so huge thanks to him. The first thing that I needed to learn was what type of shots we were going to be attempting to score, so we jumped into a private match for a while. There were 4 basic freestyling shots that we decided to attempt. The first was just a basic pinch. This isn't exactly freestyling, but it's a style of shot that not many people actually go for and something that is absolutely underrated. Most people have heard of the Cuxer pinch, where you pinch the ball against the wall into the goal. A pinch between 2 cars can be just as effective, and will almost always catch your opponent off guard. Of course, it's just an amazing shot to score as well. The second shot that we decided to go for was an air dribble pinch. This may sound incredibly intimidating, but it was actually much less complicated than it sounds, especially when I had a teammate who could set them up for me. For this shot, we would go off of opposite sides, and I learned that one of the most important things is to go all the way to the ceiling and fall off of it, because that allows you to keep your flip for an infinite amount of time. We would meet and try to pinch the ball when we were directly in front of the goal, yielding results similar to this one. This shot was probably the most satisfying to pull off, and is always fun to watch. Shot number 3 is another interesting one. For this type of freestyle, we both go off of the same side, and one person plays it off of the backboard for the other person to put into the back of the net. This was simpler than the previous shot, but didn't look as amazing unless there was a perfect setup, which was rare. The final shot that we attempted was a wild ride. I came excruciatingly close more than a dozen times, but I was never able to score this one. We would go for a pinch, similar to the first shot, but would both jump right as we hit the ball. If the setup was good, we would get launched into the air and then would try to read the bounce off of the backboard and score. White Blocko was able to score this one when we were in a private match, but we never scored it in-game. After some basic training and practice with these 4 shots, it was finally time to take this into a real game and see what we could pull off. The initial training session that we had lasted for about an hour, and once we had that down, we decided to go for some shots against real opponents. We ended up doing this for another 2 hours or so, and then called it a day after managing to score a few goals, including the best shot that I've ever scored. In that initial day, I learned that freestyling isn't actually all about constantly air rolling or hitting 10 consecutive flip resets. Sure, that's one type of freestyling, and it's insane to watch, but this community runs a lot deeper than just that. Freestyling is about teamwork, coordination, and that amazing rush that comes when everything pieces together and results in a stunning goal. We ended up only doing one more day of shots for another 3 hours or so, for a total of about 6 hours of learning how to freestyle, but in that time I learned so much about the community and the mindset that's behind the scenes of these montages. Freestyling is truly a grind, but it's also amazing for your mechanics and your mentality. It was so much fun to just let go of trying to win for once, and to attempt to score shots I never thought I would be capable of scoring. I didn't run this experiment to improve my gameplay. In fact, I suspected that it might even make me a little bit worse due to the entirely different way of playing. I couldn't have been more wrong. After just a few games to get back into the competitive spirit, my aerials and car control are feeling better than they ever have, and if this is maybe a weaker point in your game, I would recommend that you try out freestyling yourself with some friends. Even if you don't score ridiculous montage clips, it's hard to avoid having a good time. With all of that said, it's time to answer the question of the video. Can a Platinum learn how to freestyle in just 48 hours? Well, after just 5 hours of gameplay, I was able to make this mini montage that you're about to see, so you can decide for yourself. Thank you so much for watching the video, and have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the montage.